Some people would rather lose relationships than say one simple word, sorry. Not because they don't know they're wrong, but because apologizing feels like psychological death to them. People who never apologize aren't always heartless or arrogant. Often, they're protecting something fragile inside themselves. Psychologists call this ego defense, the mind's way of preserving identity when it feels threatened. For some people, admitting fault doesn't feel like a mistake, it feels like a collapse of self-worth. In their mind, being wrong equals being weak, and weakness feels dangerous. One major reason people avoid apologizing is shame intolerance. Shame is not the same as guilt. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. People who grew up being criticized, humiliated, or emotionally punished often develop a deep fear of shame. When they make a mistake, their nervous system doesn't say, fix it. It says, protect yourself. So instead of apologizing, they deny, deflect, minimize, or attack. Another common factor is narcissistic defense mechanisms. And this doesn't always mean narcissistic personality disorder. Many people use narcissistic traits as survival tools. If they grew up in environments where admitting mistakes led to rejection or ridicule, they learn to appear confident, superior, or unshakable. Apologizing threatens the image they built to survive. So they rewrite reality instead. It wasn't that serious. You misunderstood me. That's not what I meant. You're too sensitive. These phrases aren't excuses, they're shield.
There's also a strong link to insecure attachment styles, especially avoidant attachment. Avoidantly attached individuals learned early that emotional vulnerability leads to pain, so they distance themselves from emotions, including accountability. Apologizing requires emotional exposure, humility, acknowledgement of impact. For avoidant minds, that level of closeness feels unsafe, so they withdraw rather than repair. Some people don't apologize because of cognitive rigidity. Their thinking is black and white, right or wrong, winner or loser, strong or weak. Admitting fault places them on the losing side, and their identity can't tolerate that. This rigidity often comes from environments where mistakes weren't learning experiences, they were punishments. So, instead of evolving, the mind becomes defensive. Another reason is power preservation. In certain personalities, apologizing feels like giving up control. They believe saying sorry puts the other person above them, so they use dominance instead of empathy. They interrupt, they gaslight, they shift blame, they escalate conflicts, not because they're confident, but because dominance feels safer than vulnerability. Their body language changes, they get defensive faster, they avoid the topic, they change the subject. This is called cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of holding two conflicting truths. I'm a good person versus I hurt someone. Instead of resolving it with accountability, they distort reality to reduce the discomfort. Some learned early that apologies were never accepted. If, as a child, they said sorry and were still punished, ignored, or shamed, their brain learned apologies don't fix anything, so they stopped offering them. Their silence reflects learned helplessness, a response formed when repeated attempts to change outcomes are met with failure or punishment. Their silence isn't arrogance, it's self-protection. There's also an emotional regulation issue. Apologizing requires tolerating discomfort. People who lack emotional regulation skills feel overwhelmed by negative emotions quickly, so instead of sitting with discomfort, they react. They raise their voice, they blame, they shut down. This is a coping mechanism to escape the emotional weight of accountability when the nervous system can't tolerate distress. They avoid apologies not from malice, but from self-preservation. The most misunderstood part? People who never apologize often struggle deeply in relationships, not because others leave too easily, but because unresolved hurt accumulates. Their partners feel unseen, their friends feel invalidated, trust erodes silently, and over time, people stop explaining, then stop caring, then stop staying. Yet inside, many of these people feel confused. They don't understand why relationships keep failing. They believe others are too sensitive. They feel misunderstood, because no one ever taught them that apologizing is not self-destruction, it's self-respect. Here's the psychological truth. Apologizing doesn't make you smaller. It makes your identity flexible. It shows emotional strength. It shows self-confidence. It shows maturity. But to someone who never learned emotional safety, sorry feels like surrender.
If you know someone who never apologizes, understand this. You're not arguing with logic, you're arguing with their defense system. And defense systems don't respond to facts, they respond to safety. Thank you for watching this video. Follow for more.